Evening, everybody. Welcome back to Destination Uri. And thank once again to Cal for giving me this opportunity to bring you some news from the Camlough, Bessbrook, Durham area. So tonight, I'm going to start off with Surestart South Armagh, some of the stuff that they have available for young people. As many people would know, they more or less cater for parents that would have maybe a preschool child or preschool children and maybe a mother that's expecting, and they will provide various courses. And obviously, this is very, very challenging times. You know, people that normally would have got out, you know, to bring the child out and, you know, do certain activities, all that has been closed down for us. So in fairness to Surestart, and you'll find this if you go onto their Facebook page, you'll find this all advertised anyway. And I'd like to signpost you to it because there's great opportunities for February where you can sign up to online events, you know, so, you know, it's a great opportunity for people that are finding themselves, you know, particularly during this period, it can be difficult, you know, if you have a number of young people to deal with. And this is just an opportunity for a wee bit more interaction with others, be it online, you know. So I'd like to commend Surestart for providing that. You know, it's a great initiative and fair play to everybody that's involved. Another initiative that is within the community, and that is been run by Bolster Community. Bolster Community, you'll find that their office is in Monaghan Street in Uri. And again, this is, you know, a group, community-based, looking after individuals and families within the community, you know, helping them to access services and, you know, provide where they can to people in need. An absolutely excellent service to the community. So they have presented us with a number of programs, you know, and one of them is the Youth Leadership Project for young people aged 10 and 11. And it's great, you know, to provide something for people at that age group. Sometimes they're overlooked. And there's also the other event as well, another program, and that's for young people aged between 13 and 15. You know, now young people, you know, we all know, we've all been there before, you know, sometimes we need to be encouraged, you know, just to sign up to these things, you know, so any adult that is watching in, you know, and they've got maybe young people within their family, little people, you know, it's an opportunity. Just take a wee look. You'll find that if you go onto Bolster's Facebook page, again, it's well advertised and there's loads and loads and loads of other programs, but you know, take a look, you know, that'll show you where you can register and get the young people registered for that particular program. Another excellent thing. And again, it's just like what I had spoken about for Surestart, you know, people can't get out of their house. So this is, you know, online and interactive, you know, so it's a great opportunity. I'd also like to give a shout out to Camlough, you know, our local hurling team. And they're doing a last man stroke woman standing fundraiser. There it is. And, you know, so it's an opportunity to show your support to the club. It's £10 of tickets. It commences in February and the jackpot is £1,000. You know, so it's the senior hurlers that are organising this, you know, so fair play to everybody that's involved. And as I say, it's a great opportunity just to show our support to the wonderful work and the wonderful service that they provide. And, you know, they did us very proud, you know, in this last number of years, probably down through the years as well, but in particular in this last number of years. So again, it's showing a wee bit of appreciation just to, you know, help them along with that fundraiser. Thanks for that. What I'd like to mention also would be Camlough Rovers. You know, this is a wee initiative that they're using. Obviously, young people, you know, with the tendency to be on the PlayStation, I should know, I have an 11-year-old. You know, so this is Camlough Rovers encouraging the young players, you know, to get involved in some type of exercise, you know, just to make sure that the muscles, you know, don't get weak. You know, you're still active, you're still doing some type of exercise, so that whenever people get back to the football, you know, that they're still have some level of fitness. You know, so this helps you both master the ball and obviously builds up your skills as well and your fitness. You know, so a great initiative by Camlough Rovers, and again, fair play to the people that are organising that. I think Fiona Mooney is the person to contact for a lot of this stuff, you know. So again, if you go on their Facebook page, you will see, you know, all the contact details there. Thanks for that. I'd like to also just mention some of the money that has been made available to the council or through the council. This is the financial assistance grants. There's a wealth of stuff. Again, if you go onto the council, Newry District Council's Facebook page, you will find, a list of all the new grants that have been made available for this year. So there's a wealth of stuff there, and it's available for people, but you have to apply. So an awful lot of people are involved in community groups, sporting clubs, all of that, and I know how tough it can be to try and fundraise. Well, if you take a wee look just on the Facebook page, you'll see the list of funding that's available, and the way you can link into that, how to contact the council and get the application form and get your application in. So there's money there available. It's just a matter of, putting your application in. I'd also like, just while I'm on the subject, just to the council, I think over Christmas, and the beginning of this year, we ended up with the perfect storm with regards to the bins. You had quite a number of things. You had the holidays kicked in. You had the icy weather, which obviously affected, where the lorries could go. You have drivers and bin men off because of COVID. And you also had industrial action, like just talking about the perfect storm. But anyhow, the industrial action is now over. It's obviously, although it's a bad day today, at least it's not icy. And, obviously the holidays are over. So I think by this stage, most of the bins, if not all of them, the outstanding bins should have been collected. I know it's been difficult for people, with bins sitting outside the house for maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. But as I say, it was like the perfect storm, so thankfully everything is back on track, so fair play. And, again, the people that do all of this, they're frontline workers, they have families too, they are taking the risk because, obviously they're lifting bins and, they are, out and about the whole time, so they have to commend, as always, the bin men for the work that they do, and the guys in the lorries and everybody else that's involved in that particular bit of work. Okay, there's another bit of funding, Cathal, and this is, as everybody knows, the centenary events. We have the decade of centenaries, so it was up in front of the council. We already had discussed this at the Good Relations Group, and then this was brought before what they call SPNR committee, a committee that I'm on. And so that was up in front of the council last Thursday, that £40,000 should be set aside for groups that are interested in marking centenary events for obviously the centenary of 1921, and for marking those events this year. So again, it's up to people, to put in their application. One of the big events, obviously, would be the setting up of the states, partition of the island. So these are historical events. At the end of the day, and people have to accept that there is no one official historical record of these events. Everybody's going to have their own experiences, and there is different narratives. And I think, if we're being honest, truthful, objective, we should accept that, people have different experiences, so particularly people that lived on the border, their experience, of what happens in 1921 might be different from somebody that lives in Belfast, so how partition impacted on us economically, politically, socially, culturally, it's going to have a different impact, depending on where you're coming from, what your political point of view is. So nobody should accept that their particular version of events is the official version, because it's not. We all have our own competing perspectives, different narratives, and we should just accept that is the way it is, and give people respect and time, to have their own say, take a look at their own version, and give everybody an opportunity to examine, those particular versions. That's what I would encourage most. So as I said, take a look at the council. I think is going to make that funding available in February, and anybody is interested, be it to put a booklet together, a video together, create an online discussion or debate, or anything like that. It's for the whole of for 2021. So maybe post-COVID, hopefully, if there's such a thing, people will be able to organize something, with in a hall or whatever, where they can debate and discuss and analyze and all of that as well. Okay, so the opportunities there, and it's done through the council. So without further ado, I'd like to give a bit of a shout out to a number of people for their birthdays. So Bernie Gallagher, Bernie from Sturgeon Bray, Camlough, and it's Bernie's birthday today. So big happy birthday to Bernie. Husband Brian, no doubt he will spoil you, as will all your kids today. So hopefully you have a great day today. You well deserve it. I'd also like to give a shout out to Paul Hughes, Paul Groover Hughes, as we would have known him back in the day. Paul originally came from Camlough and Bessbrook, and a good friend of my own. And I know he's a few years younger than me, but it's his birthday tomorrow, so big shout out, big happy birthday to Paul. And hopefully you had a good day, and I'm sure Anne will spoil you. And another birthday boy, and this is for Freddie. And this is a guy with a bit of a profile, Charlie Casey. So it's Charlie Casey's a colleague of mine. It's his birthday on Friday. So a big happy birthday to Charlie. And no doubt you're still doing sterling work within the community, and fair play to all of that. So that's really all I have for this week, Cathal. So again, thanks a million for anybody that's listened in. And if it can be any assistance, or if you want to give any shout outs, just let me know. I'm only a phone call away or an email away, so if you want to get in contact, by all means do so. So once again, AOI agus slán go fóill.